Canadian Airlines International Ltd. was a Canadian airline that operated from 1987 until 2001. The airline was Canada's second-largest airline after Air Canada, and carried more than 11.9 million passengers to over 160 destinations in 17 countries on 5 continents at its height in 1996. Canadian Airlines served 105 destinations in Canada, more than any other airline. Canadian Airlines was also a founding member of the One World Airline Alliance. Canadian Airlines was headquartered in Calgary, Alberta, and had revenue of approximately $3 billion at the end of 1999. The airline and its aircraft were acquired by Air Canada in 2000. History: Canadian Airlines International was the principal subsidiary of its parent company Canadian Airlines Corporation. The new airline was formed on March 27, 1987, when Pacific Western Airlines purchased Canadian Pacific Airlines, which in turn had recently acquired Eastern Provincial Airways and Nordair. In 1989, Canadian Airlines acquired Wardair, giving them access to new routes, including long sought-after routes to the UK and Europe. Its major hubs were at Montreal Dorval International Airport, Toronto Pearson International Airport, Vancouver International Airport, and Calgary International Airport. Canadian Airlines streamlined its operations and went through the financial restructuring of over $700 million in debt, after the 1991 airline industry slump. On November 1, 1996, Kevin Benson, then President and CEO, unveiled a restructuring strategy to improve the profitability of Canadian Airlines. The operational restructuring plan was supposed to be phased in over a 4-year period, addressing the main issues of cost control, revenue growth, capitalization, and fleet renewal. It was also one of the founding members of the One World Airline Alliance, along with Qantas, American Airlines and British Airways. The plan started off well, but with the Asian economic downturn in 1998, air traffic decreased and Canadian was suffering on what was previously its most profitable route. Canadian Plus was the largest frequent flyer program in Canada, with more than 60 airline, hotel, car rental, and financial partners worldwide. The program had more than 3 million members. In its last few years of operation, Canadian Airlines extended its international route network in Asia, with the most recent expansion of service to Malaysia and the Philippines, which gave it 8 destinations in Asia. At the time, Canadian Airlines had the distinction of flying to more places in Asia more often than any other Canadian carrier. Canadian Airlines' core business strategy focused on building its Vancouver hub into the leading gateway between North America and Asia. It leveraged its code-sharing agreement with American Airlines in order to help capture a greater share of U.S. Asia traffic flows. After continued poor performance, Canadian Airlines was acquired by Air Canada in 2000. Numerous other proposals for survival had been considered and rejected, including a competing bid led by American Airlines to purchase Canadian Airlines. American Airlines had already owned a 25% stake in Canadian Airlines, the maximum allowed under regulations. Then American CEO Donald J. Carty, who had formerly headed Canadian predecessor Canadian Pacific Airlines, planned to acquire a controlling interest in the new Air Canada, with the purpose of moving it from the Star Alliance to One World. American has since sold its shares in Air Canada, after unsuccessfully lobbying Canadian federal government to ease foreign ownership restrictions on Canadian Airlines. Internet presence. Canadian Airlines has the distinction of being the first airline in the world to have a website on the Internet. The website was launched in April 1994 and is recognized in the Canadian Internet Handbook 1994 and 1995 editions. It was given recognition for not only being the first airline website in the world but also the first with transactional capabilities such as flight, arrival, departure and fare information. At the time, this fact was widely reported by Canadian media including CBC Venture and Maclean's magazine. The website was created and credited to Grant Fengstadt, who at the time was leading a strategy to demonstrate that the Internet was going to revolutionize the travel sector. Destinations. Livery. Upon its founding in 1987, Canadian Airlines revealed its new livery using the colors light gray, dark gray, navy blue, and red. The lower half of the aircraft's body was navy blue, topped with light gray and red borders, while the tail was two-thirds blue, with the remaining third taken up by the carrier's logo. This was a light gray color. Over the light gray were 5 dark gray lines representing the 5 continents served by the carrier. Over these lines was a thick bright red chevron. This character was a clever alternative to a true bilingual name on the fuselage. Canadian adopted a short-lived new livery in January 1999, less than a year before the airline was merged into Air Canada. The livery, known as Proud Wings, featured a large Canada goose painted at the tail of the aircraft and the airline's name in a new Celeste font. The new livery, however, came so late that most of the fleet still retained the existing chevron livery by the time of the merger, until the merger process with Air Canada was completed in 2001. Most Canadian aircraft featured a transition livery with an Air Canada tail design while retaining the name Canadian on the sides. Fleet. At the time of its acquisition by Air Canada, it operated a fleet of 163 aircraft. The following is a list of aircraft operated by both Canadian Airlines and CP Air over the years: Jet Fleet, Airbus A320, Airbus A310-300, Boeing 737-200, 200 ELR and 200 Combi, Boeing 737-300, Boeing 767-300, Boeing 747-400, McDonnell Douglas DC-10-30, Fokker F-28 Fellowship 1000, turboprop fleet. Besides operating F-28 jet aircraft, Canadian Regional Airlines also operated the following turboprop aircraft types on behalf of Canadian Airlines via a code-sharing arrangement: British Aerospace BAE Jetstream 31, de Havilland Canada DHC 8-8-100-300, Beechcraft 190D, ATR 42, ATR 72. In-flight services. Canadian Airlines offered 3 classes: first class, business class, Canadian class, referred to as economy class on turboprop aircraft. First class was available on flights using wide-body jets and business classes on flights not using regional jets or turboprop aircraft. In 1987, Canadian Airlines banned smoking on all domestic flights. Food from flights within Canada were provided by LSG Sky Chefs and all other flights by local contractors. Maintenance was provided by in-house operations during the existence of the airlines. Aircraft would be serviced by other airlines at airports without CA operations. Ground handling was provided by in-house operations during the existence of the airlines. Aircraft baggage would be handled by Hudson General, and the interior cleaning and lav and portable service, carpet replacement, Seat back and seat covered replacement was handled by Canadian Airlines cleaning department at airports within CA operations. Entertainment. Most international and medium-haul flights provided both video and audio entertainment. Short-haul flights provided audio entertainment only. Newspapers and magazines. Newspapers provided in-flight on most aircraft. Canadian, the official in-flight magazine of Canadian Airlines. Newspapers: Globe and Mail, USA Today, magazines, Maclean's. Lounges. Canadian lounges were called Empress Lounge and were located at several airports in Canada and abroad. Calgary International Airport, Edmonton City Centre Airport and Edmonton International Airport. Halifax International Airport, Montreal Dorval International Airport and Montreal Mirabel International Airport. Ottawa International Airport, San Francisco International Airport, California, United States. Toronto Pearson International Airport Terminal 3. Vancouver International Airport, Ezeiza International Airport, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Mexico City International Airport, Mexico. Galeão Antonio Carlos Jobim International Airport, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Guarulhos International Airport, São Paulo, Brazil. Don Muang International Airport, Bangkok, Thailand. Beijing Capital International Airport, China. Kai Tak Airport, Hong Kong. Hong Kong International Airport, Hong Kong. Komaki Airport, Nagoya, Japan. Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport, Taipei, Taiwan. Narita International Airport, Tokyo, Japan. Auckland Airport, New Zealand. Kingsford Smith International Airport, Sydney, Australia. Frankfurt International Airport, London Heathrow Airport, England, United Kingdom. Malpensa International Airport, Milan, Italy. Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris, France. Leonardo da Vinci International Airport, Rome, Italy. Subsidiaries. Canadian Airlines' domestic network was broken down into 5 divisions. Canadian Regional Airlines, which served 69 destinations in British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, the Northwest Territories, Ontario, and the United States. Canadian Regional was 100% owned by Canadian Airlines. Calm Air, which served 27 destinations in Manitoba, northwestern Ontario, and the Northwest Territories. Calm Air was 45% owned by Canadian Regional and continues to operate under separate management. Intercanadian served Ottawa, Toronto, Labrador, and 26 destinations throughout Quebec. Intercanadians was 100% owned by Canadian Regional. Air Atlantic, a regional partner of Canadian Airlines, served 16 destinations throughout the Atlantic provinces, Quebec, Ontario, and the United States. Canadian North was a division of Canadian Airlines created to serve the northern regions. Canadian North had a network of 10 destinations that expanded from its southern bases of Edmonton and Winnipeg. Canadian North also had a commercial agreement with Air, an Inuit-owned and operated airline in the Northwest Territories. Canadian North was sold in 1998 to Norterra and continues to operate as an independent airline. Onyx bid an Air Canada takeover. On August 20, 1999, Air Canada proposed a financial offer to Canadian Airlines which would see Canadians' international routes and airport slots sold to Air Canada for an undisclosed amount. Canadian Airlines would be relegated to be a regional carrier providing a feeder network to Air Canada. This offer was rejected. 4 days later, on August 24, 1999, Onyx Corporation announced a takeover bid for Canadian Airlines. Backed by American Airlines parent company Emera Corporation, consisting of $1.8 billion in cash and the assumption of $3.9 billion in debt. Canadian Airlines announced that it would support this and recommend acceptance from its shareholders. Air Canada rejected the offer. On August 31, 1999, Air Canada adopted a poison pill aimed at thwarting any takeover bid. It was later revealed by Kevin Benson that merger talks had occurred between Canadian Airlines and Air Canada in early 1999, with Air Canada abandoning the talks. On October 19, 1999, Air Canada, backed by Star Alliance partners Lufthansa Airlines, United Airlines and CIBC, announced a $930 million counterbid to the Onyx offer. Air Canada offered $92 million for Canadian Airlines and committed to running it as a separate company. On November 2, Air Canada increased its offer to $16 per share to buy back 36.4% of the airline. On November 5, 1999, a Quebec judge ruled that the Onyx takeover was illegal, breaking the law that stipulates that no more than 10% of the company can be controlled by a single shareholder. Onyx subsequently withdrew its offer, and Air Canada stated it would proceed with the takeover of Canadian Airlines. On December 4, the board of directors at Canadian Airlines recommended the $92 million offer from Air Canada to the shareholders. The offer from Air Canada originally expired at 5 p.m. on December 7, 1999, but Air Canada extended their offer until December 23, 1999. Air Canada officially took control of Canadian Airlines pending government approval on December 8, 1999. The Federal Competition Bureau cleared the way for the takeover on December 21, 1999, and Canadian Airlines officially became a subsidiary of Air Canada on December 23, 1999. Canadian Airlines operated as a subsidiary company through most of 2000. In October 2000, all of Canadian Airlines' systems and employees became fully integrated. With both companies fully integrated, Air Canada began massive cuts to employees, starting with the announcement that there would be 3,500 cuts in the workforce on December 22, 2000. September 26, 2001 saw an additional 5,000 cuts, primarily driven from the worldwide impact to the travel sector caused by the 9/11 attacks. Other information: Canadian Airlines operated the largest tour operator in Canada called Canadian Holidays and the Canadian Getaways program. The operator flew to destinations which included Florida, Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, Mexico, Chile, Cuba, Dominican Republic, St. Kitts, Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Costa Rica, Hawaii, Arizona, California, Nevada, Puerto Rico, Tortola. Canadian Air Cargo provided general air cargo services in Canada and the United States. Services included priority service, express overnight door-to-door, general air cargo. In 1994, the Canadian children's show Mighty Machines filmed one of their episodes at Toronto Pearson International Airport, starring a couple of Canadian Airlines jets and several other of the carrier's vehicles. Accidents. No fatalities occurred during the existence of Canadian Airlines. There were only two major incidents. On October 19, 1995, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10ER rejected takeoff due to compressor stall at Vancouver International Airport. On September 6, 1997, a Boeing 767-375 aborted takeoff after experiencing an engine fire at Beijing International Airport.